Welcome to Reese Academy. I am Shalonda Reese, your English grammar teacher. And today's lesson is on prepositional phrases. Now, I did a video on prepositions on yesterday. And if you have not watched that one yet, I strongly suggest that you watch that one first because then you'll have an easier understanding of this video on prepositional phrases. Okay, so you learned that a preposition is a connecting word that shows place, time, direction, spatial relationships, or to introduce an object. Okay? And also, two key things about a preposition. A preposition usually precedes a noun or pronoun, and a verb can never be the object of a preposition. So if you remember those two key things, then it'll be easier for you to identify prepositional phrases. All right, so these are the examples that I had on the board, these same examples on yesterday. Over, under, before, after, up, down, beside, in, at, of, on, for, to, across, and so forth. Now you can see with these words, they're showing location. They're showing the place, time, and direction. Okay, that's what prepositions do. So what we're going to do now is we're going to use the same sentences on yesterday where we identified the preposition, and we're going to identify the prepositional phrase. Okay, so these are the sentences we had yesterday, and the words that are underlined in green are the prepositions, okay? Now, prepositions, keep in mind, they are not needed for the sentence to be complete. Let's look at number one for an example. The cat ran under the table. The cat ran, period. Prepositions and prepositional phrases are added information to give you more information about what's happening, but they are not needed for the sentence to be complete. And that's also another key information for you to have in order to understand the prepositions. Okay, so let's look at number one. The cat ran under the table. Under is a preposition, so therefore the phrase, the prepositional phrase would be under the table. Okay, so the prepositional phrase are the group of words that follow the preposition, and the prepositional phrase always begins with the preposition. Now remember, a prepositional phrase, a verb can never be the object of a preposition. The object of the preposition is always a noun or a pronoun. The object of the preposition is what? Table. Is that a noun? Yes, it is. Number two, I bought 2 shirts at the mall. Okay, the preposition is at, so the phrase would be at the mall. Is the mall a noun? Yes. That's the object of the preposition. Mall is the object of the preposition. Okay, so remember, the prepositional phrase always begins with the preposition. Number three, she walked between them. Between is a preposition, so between them is a prepositional phrase. Now, is them a noun? It's a pronoun. Remember, prepositions usually precede a noun or a pronoun. Number four, he bought a car for his son. For is a preposition, so therefore the prepositional phrase is for his son. And son is the object of the preposition, which is a noun. 5, the cab driver drove through the woods. Preposition is through, so what is the phrase? Through the woods. Woods is the object of the preposition, which is a noun. Remember, prepositional phrases begin with the preposition, right? If it doesn't begin with the preposition, it's not a prepositional phrase. Number 6, she is standing beside you. Beside is a preposition. Beside you is a phrase. You is a pronoun. Number 7, they skated across the bridge. Across is the preposition. Across the bridge is the prepositional phrase, and bridge is the noun, which makes it the object of the preposition. Continue to eat until you are finished. Until is the preposition. You is the pronoun. Okay, now, I don't want to confuse anybody, so let me erase that because I extended the line too long there. Okay, so we know that the word to is a preposition. I spoke about this in the video on prepositions. The word to can be an infinitive or preposition depending on how it's used. If a verb comes after to, it's not a preposition, it's an infinitive, because the infinitive form is to plus the verb. Okay, and remember with prepositions precede a noun or pronoun. So the noun or pronoun comes after the preposition. So therefore, to can be a preposition or infinitive depending on how it is used. So remember that, because you see the word to a lot. It's a common word in our English language, and you need to be able to distinguish whether it's a preposition or an infinitive depending on how it's being used in that sentence. Okay, so like I told you in yesterday's video on prepositions, that there are a bunch of prepositions. I just gave you a few of them on the board. Now, if you need to go back and rewind the video to write down those prepositions, feel free to do so. Because with prepositions, you can memorize them, right? And if you remember the definition that they show place, time, location, spatial relationships, then even if you don't memorize them, you should be able to identify them if you remember the definition of a preposition and the function of a preposition. So remember, a preposition usually precedes a noun or pronoun, and the verb can never be the object of a preposition. A preposition is a connecting word that shows direction, time, place, spatial relationships, or to introduce an object. So if you can remember all of that, write it down, memorize it, and practice it, then you should have no problems identifying prepositions and their phrases. Well, I hope today's lesson worked for you, and watch this video as many times as you need to. I'll see you next time.